So good evening, everyone, and welcome. The December 23rd, 2025 council meeting of the Long Branch City Council will now come to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rassus?
Here.
Mr. Vieira?
I'm here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
Mr. Dangler is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Here. Please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will now read the mission statement for the City Council. The Long Branch Mayor, City Council, and Administration are committed to cultivating an environment of mutual trust and respect that values the diversity of our community. We will strive to enhance the quality of life for all who live here by making Long Branch a desirable place in which to live and prosper. We will treat all members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. Certification, please.
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act and posted as required by law.
Thank you. And now we have a very special event. We're going to have the swearing in for our city clerk, Amanda Caldwell.
I just want to say congratulations to Amanda. You are a great asset to the city here, and I know I speak for all of us. So
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to do the oath of office. Amanda, if you could repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Amanda Caldwell,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear truth,
that I will bear truth,
faith,
faith,
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties as a city clerk
all the duties of a city clerk
for the city of Long
for
Branch,
the city of Long Branch,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
Wonderful, Amanda. We are so proud of you, and we are so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thrilled to have you as a continuing member of the team, Amanda.
I'm excited.
Good, good, good. Okay, so we will now continue with the reading and approval of previous minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the December 10th, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rassus?
Yes.
Mr. Vieira?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Mr. Dangler is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. Consideration of ordinance, public hearing, and final consideration of ordinance 0-20-25, an ordinance amending Chapter 345 of the Code of the City of Long Branch, and more specifically, the zoning regulation pertaining to the Transit Village District, Medical Village Subdistrict. This ordinance was introduced on November 25th, 2025, and amends Section 345-39 and the table of bulk uses for the Transit Village District, Medical Village Subdistrict, to remove all residential uses. The ordinance also repeals the M Medical Hospital Zone District, given that as of the creation of the Transit Village District, no property in the city was included in an M Medical Hospital District Zone District. I'm now going to ask Attorney Ray None if he would make a statement for us about this ordinance.
Council President, as I indicated to you earlier in the week, there have been very positive discussions going on between the city and the hospital that we hope will result in the hospital staying open. So what I'm going to ask tonight is that we conduct a public hearing, because we did send out public notices for it, but at the conclusion of the public hearing, that a motion to table the ordinance for until now, effectively until next year, and that no action be taken tonight to adopt it.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion now to open the public hearing on this ordinance only.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If any member of the public has any comments to make on this ordinance only, please come to the podium, state your name and address clearly for the record. You'll have 5 minutes and may only speak once on ordinance 0-20-25.
Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. I had a series of questions here. Attorney Raynon made a statement. I want the confirmation of that statement, that there are talks going on with the hospital
There are, Mr. Lepore, very positive discussions, yes.
to maintain long-term operating facilities here.
Yes, sir.
Why did this ordinance come about in the first place? Why was the timing of this ordinance a month ago as introduced?
Because at the time, we thought it was the prudent thing to do, just to make, the hospital was making representations, and we just thought that, it was necessary to protect the city's interests. But the conversations have been very positive with the hospital system, and that's why we're asking for it to be held today, and the ordinance may have to be changed, and there's not a necessity to adopt it tonight.
All right, so since the date of the adoption, the city's had positive talks
We have,
with
Mr.
Monmouth
Lepore.
Medical.
Yeah, we have, Mr. Lepore, and we have starting to get a confidence level that maybe we'll see that the hospital will continue its operations here.
I have no further questions.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, I need a motion to close public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So based on the advice from our city attorney, I'd like to motion to table this ordinance, and I need a motion to do that.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rassus?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Mr. Dangler is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. Moving on to ordinance 0-21-25. This is an ordinance amending an ordinance establishing titles and setting salaries for certain employees of the city of Long Branch for the year of 2025. This ordinance was introduced on December 10th, 2025, and amends titles and setting salaries for certain city employees for the year 2025. I need a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If any member of the public has any comments to make on this ordinance only, please come to the podium, state your name and address clearly for the record. You'll have 5 minutes and may only speak once on ordinance 0-21-25.
Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. On the bracket concerning the salaries for the council and the mayor. The mayor being $8,000 per year, the council $3,500 a year. No. This council is not deserving of anything the way this city's being run. The taxes, the corruption, the crime, etc. I'm requesting a no vote. The mayor does not deserve a salary, nor does this council. Requesting no vote on ordinance 2125.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Seeing none, I need a motion to close.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. This is the second reading of ordinance 21-25. I need a motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rassus?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
yes,
Mr. Dangler is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Ordinance for introduction, ordinance 0-22-25. This is the first reading of ordinance 22-25, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 14 Slocum Place, Block 234, Lot 6 in the city of Long Branch. A summary of this ordinance is as follows. This ordinance is to approve the execution of the contract for the purchase of 14 Slocum Place on behalf of the Free Public Library of the City of Long Branch. The library has already appropriated the funds for this purchase. I need a motion to introduce on first reading, advertise, and post according to law, and set the public hearing for January 14th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rassus?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
yes,
Mr. Dangler is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. This is the first reading of ordinance 0-23-25, a capital ordinance providing for the purchase of 14 Slocum Place, Block 234, Lot 6, by and in the city of Long Branch, in the county of Monmouth, state of New Jersey, appropriating $400,000 therefore to pay for the cost thereof. A summary of this ordinance is as follows. The fully funded capital ordinance authorizes the purchase of the property located at 14 Slocum Place, also known as Block 234, Lot 6, from 2500 Oak Street Enterprises, LLC, from the Library Fund. I need a motion to introduce on first reading, advertise, and post according to law, and set the public hearing for January 14th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rassus?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
yes,
Mr. Dangler is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, thank you. Public participation for resolutions and all general comments. I need a motion to open the public portion of the meeting for all comments.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The public portion of the meeting is to allow you, the public, to state your comments directly to the administration and have a voice in the proceedings of your governing body. There will be no cross dialogue during the public portion of the meeting. After you have spoken, any member of the dais authorized to speak on the administration's behalf may address your comments, answer questions, and correct any misleading or erroneous information. If there's anyone in the audience who has a comment to make, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch, requesting 1-minute notification. Good evening, Madam Clerk. Oftentimes, I'm here in an adversarial position to this government. I much don't like what's taking place in this government or this city. Tonight, Resolution 247 is a resolution approving Amanda Caldwell for the clerk. Congratulations, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
You are deserving of this. You're doing an excellent job.
Thank you very much.
I have a major announcement to make this evening. Everybody out there, this entire council, 5 seats, and the mayor, we have an election coming May 12th, 2026. On January 5th, the petitions will be available at the clerk's office, petitions being applications to run for council and mayor. Again, they will be available January 5th. They're due back with signatures on February 26th for the May 12th election. The clerk will fill you in on details to anybody wishing to run for council or mayor. Resolution 267 25, the resolution appointing the city auditor, Suplee Cooney, Robert Swisher. Not a chance. You're giving him a raise, too. It's unbelievable. So much for pay to play, corrupt as it is. He couldn't verify the tax abatements on Pier Village 2 years ago. He went and stated on a budget that it would not do well to have the surplus returned to the taxpayers. An idiot statement, if ever there was one. And most recently, with the scandal in the Elberon Fire Company of the Long Branch Fire Department, checks are cut. Where was the auditor in proofing how that money was being spent? He failed. It was junk government all around. No on Resolution 267, no on the auditor. Another announcement yesterday, December 22nd, the United States Department of Interior paused all offshore wind projects off of New Jersey for national security concerns. For risks identified by the U.S. Department of War. That includes the Empire Wind Project, directly east of Long Branch. I want to publicly thank Congressman Christopher Smith, as well as the state leader in fighting offshore wind farms, Long Branch's own Clean Ocean Action, Cindy Zipfin's staff, for working diligently on maintaining the national security and the environment of the Long Branch coast. Congratulations, Congressman Christopher Smith. Recently, a bill's been introduced for the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee, A-1107 in the Assembly. Senate is S-3915. It requires municipalities to share certain payments in lieu of taxes, pilots, also known as tax abatements, with school districts, and inform counties and inform school districts.
1 minute notification.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And the Department of Community Affairs of certain information related to property tax exemption and abatements. This tax abatement legislation requires the mayor to notify the head of the Board of Education within 5 days of the tax abatement filing. The head of the Board of Ed shall do the negotiations and approve or deny the tax abatement application within 90 days. I've been working on this for 3 years, Long Branch being the most abusive of these tax abatements, residential tax abatements. But finally bringing it about. We're still working on retroactivity to apply it to current tax abatements. The bill currently stands for future, but we're trying to get it to apply for current tax abatements that affect the school budgets.
5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marcia Brown. I reside at 111 Joline Avenue in Long Branch. And I just want to start off saying thank you to the mayor and to Congressman Pallone and to other members of the council that were involved in the struggle to liberate Monmouth Medical Center, one might say, at least to bring the issue out in the public. And it was just extraordinary, the level of unity that surrounded that campaign. People from all different backgrounds came together because they believed that the right thing to do was to challenge the hospital's decision to reorganize or to relocate the plant. And a few weeks ago, that sense of unity was also manifested in an event that was held by the Martin Luther King organization a few weeks ago called Unity in the Community. I think members of the council were invited, members of the community, Long Branch community were invited, It was a very fundamentally profound gathering. People from all backgrounds came together to say, yes, we think it's a great thing to partner and to collaborate in this city. We need that. And what's brought me here tonight is this question in my mind about how people unite around issues that really challenge their sense of being caring and compassionate. And I'm talking about the question of our immigration policies in this country, but particularly how they manifest themselves in the city of Long Branch. I know personally that somewhere in this city, there's a child who's crying for his father, a father who was taken at 6 a.m. in the morning in front of his children, taken to Delaney Detention Center in Newark, New Jersey. A man who has worked in Long Branch for 30 years, built a business, raised a family, paid taxes that he will likely never receive back, sent his children to Long Branch schools, and is now in a detention center where 2,000 men lay on cots without proper heat, suffering mental health issues. Why? Because of a parking ticket. Because he failed to pay a parking ticket. And I think there may be many stories like that in our city. We certainly know that those stories are going on around the country. But it's going on in Long Branch as well. And I don't know if we are a sanctuary city. I don't know if we've written any symbolic statements, like, for example, the city of Princeton did, and there are about 15 or 17 cities throughout New Jersey that have made statements or created ordinances that talk about what they will and will not do with respect to supporting the ICE-led detention arrest. But there's something wrong when someone who's simply failed to pay a parking ticket but has otherwise been a good citizen is taken like that and placed in a detention center and now in danger of being deported. Because the other thing that happens is that the family is, torn apart, ripped apart. In this case, the family is probably going to lose their house because the breadwinner is no longer there. And just recently, this person is now in the crosshairs of the federal immigration courts where they are going to be deported, most likely. So tonight I wanted to just not advocate that we defy the federal government and make ourselves a target, because these are serious times that we're living in, and we don't need to be a target of this administration. But there are some things that we have to be committed to do, I think, as a city that says that they are supportive of the interests, the best interests of its city. And the best interests of its city has to be that we act with a sense of care and compassion about our fellow citizens. And so I wanted to just indicate several things that hopefully you can tell me whether we're doing or whether you will consider this. But one of the things that some cities are doing is insisting on judicial warrants before they give out information about residents. Some cities are also providing additional resources to nonprofit organizations. We know they exist in our city, who are helpful in this population, or with this population, because many people are being targeted.
5 minutes.
Peace on earth, goodwill toward men. That should be our motto.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. We can address some of your questions after we close the public comment part.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, all. Nick DiGuglielmo, 580 Patton Avenue. Thanks for those words of unity. I think in maintaining that unity and wanting to have a quality of life here in Long Branch, I'm here on my perpetual rant about the tax issues. More so than not, it's mostly the inaction that's being taken by our elected representatives. I hate to use the old cliche, taxation without representation, but I truly feel that that's the case. You know, every time I mention this, it seems like the issue is mostly regarding about that 40% of the pie that all of you can wind up attesting to. However, that 60%, that's the biggest blunt, is accounted by this untouchable, arrogant board that has a carte blanche, laissez-faire effect in terms of spending all the money in the world. And I know that you don't have any direct control, but in my prior rants, I asked, let's have some dialogue with this untenable Board of Education. They're untouchable. Who in God's name is untouchable? You know? And I don't understand. Why can't we have a liaison? Why can't we create something to be able to account for that? I mean, in Montclair, there was a huge multi-million-dollar difference for the Board of Education, and it wasn't slammed down our throats, as was done here in Long Branch, but they had a referendum. In Toms River, the new incoming governor has a plan in terms of what to do with the mess there. I implore, we have a mess here at the Board of Education, and it defies all logic and no one has the audacity to speak up. It's absolutely unacceptable, and it can't be. So rather than me continuing to get crickets, no answers on this, I'm going to forward the remainder of my minutes to the council president, Dr. Vogt, who I would love to hear what possible plans do you have? Any tangible ideas as to what you might be able to implement in 2026 to be able to make Long Branch affordable? She's interested in helping out immigrants. I'm interested in helping the entire town because, frankly, ladies and gentlemen, Long Branch is no longer affordable. Please convince me why I should continue to live in this city that doesn't give a damn about taxes and wants everybody to live. You are more interested in the gentrification of the city than maintaining the core. I am a core person that's been here. I too am an immigrant, and I made it. I graduated Long Branch High School, and through the grace of God, I studied my ass off and was able to go to college. I have a master's degree. I have an MD degree, and I did it entirely on my own. And now you've got this situation where I want to come back to Long Branch. Well, I'm not convinced. If I can't afford it, how in God's name is someone else? Dr. Vogt, please give me some tangible ideas what you can do. I cede my minutes to you.
Nikki, let me do this just in terms of keeping with our order. When we close the public portion, I will respond to you.
But I've come here for the past year and a half, and it's always been crickets. There have been no ideas. Everyone winds up stating, oh, well, look at the other towns. Their taxes are high, but garbage. They have some say. If we only have 40% of the budget that all of you can account for, and we have this arrogant 60% that goes to the Board of Education, what makes them so untouchable? What gives them that American Express card that they can spend as they want? Let's give it to the teachers that really need it and not the upper administration.
5 minutes.
Thank you.
Patty Perello, 70 North Bath Avenue. I've never spoken before, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. I got my tax notice, and my taxes went up $1,300 this year.
Patty, I'm sorry, Patty, could you speak a little closer to the mic, please? Thank you.
Soft voice. Yeah, so my taxes went up $1,300, and I I'm not sure why, but somebody keeps saying it's because of the school board, they need more money to fund the school. I can't even send my grandchildren into these schools because their rating on the state rank is abysmal. It's in the lower 2/3. So we're going to be paying to send my kids to a Catholic school because they can't go to these schools and get a good education. Now, my kids were born and raised here. I'm not from New Jersey, I'm from New York. My kids were born and raised here, and they went to Long Branch school system. The school was a little bit more balanced. The population within the school district was more balanced. Right now, it's really not. There's, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want my kids to be friends with some of the people that they'll be going to school with. Maybe I don't know. But the other thing, too, is that my kids, in order to send their kids to any school near me, their grandmother, my grandkids, have to, my kids have to stay in my house. So they're in my house. And the reason for that is because they need me as a babysitter. If they move somewhere else, they can afford to buy a house. You can't afford to buy a house in Long Branch. I just saw a 3-bedroom, bath and a half house a block from mine, which is up near the water. It's a pretty house. $780,000. That's just crazy. And there should be opportunities for people to be able to buy a house and have it affordable. So the other thing, so now I can't live with my kids. They're all looking at moving somewhere out of Long Branch even, just leaving the house and moving somewhere else. And I really don't want to do that, but they can't afford to live here. There was something else I was going to say. So regarding the taxes, I don't know why they keep going up when we keep building more townhouses and people move into them and they're populated by people with much more money because they start at like $2 million apiece. I don't understand why my taxes keep going up, except I do know about tax abatements where people are gifted 30 years of not paying taxes, something like that. And I'm not sure because this is all kind of new to me, but I am now single. I was widowed. So a lot of this is now falling on my shoulders to understand. But I think that my taxes shouldn't be going up when we keep increasing the population of the city. I don't understand it. And again, like I said, I can't send my kids to the schools that I'm paying for. Problems. I'm having problems with Long Branch right now. And I like this town. I like all about it, except it's starting to get a little strange around here. I think that's all I have to say. I'm sure that if I think of something else, I'll come back, but I don't know if there's anything you can do to fix it, except I think I had to be heard.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So Patty, let's look at the reality about what Nick said and what you're saying. I mean, you know, the bottom line is that of your overall tax bill, right, that you pay, 38% is the municipal portion of the tax bill, 38%. So Nick is right. You're talking about 62% is between the county, the Board of Ed, and the library. So the reality is this particular year, and again, it's not going to be every year, but this particular year we had, we reduced the municipal portion of it just a little bit, and there were significant increases, elsewhere. So again, I think we've done our job on the municipal level this year, and if you compare the last 4 years, for example, we were on average a little less than 3% overall tax increase. So 2 years we had no increase. 1 year we had 5 point something, another year it was another 5 point something. So, I mean, in the big picture, I think I speak for all the council, we're doing a good job. That's been pretty good. I mean, we don't know year to year, but remember, health costs, costs of goods, everything else, and then a lot of the services that we've been able to offer. Obviously, you come to the senior center, arts and cultural center, new library, museum. I mean, so there's a lot of things going on in the city,
I want to be
and
able
we've
to
been able
retire
to,
here.
we've been able to keep the tax flat. this year. I mean, I can't really address, and then again, a gentleman likes to talk about, tax abatements and so forth. I mean, he doesn't mention that we removed a 30-year tax abatement from Lower Broadway. And yes, we're responsible for one tax abatement, this administration, and that was the Ocean Gate project. But again, we got a $3.1 million community pool, which the city has never had. And if you're familiar with Long Branch Avenue, you couldn't go down there even the slightest rain. So that was paid for through that abatement as well. So, again, and then finally, we talk a lot about new development. New development, believe it or not, represents, I mean, we have the value of the city is about $9 billion, I think, for 25. Is that right, Mike? Yeah. And really 1% of that, or I think it's about 100, somewhere between 100 and 120 million dollars, is new development last year. So people ever think, well, okay, there's so much development. The reality is is it significant? $100 million is $100 million. But if you think of like a container ship with, it's like maybe one container falling off. Is it significant? Of course it is. But to say that tax abatements, or to say that, with so much new development, like I said, it represents, 1.39% of the overall budget of that $9 million. Is that fair to say? Yeah. I hope that explains something, Patty. Here.
It does. I guess the main problem is that I like all of the things you brought up about Long Branch. As a senior citizen, I'm old enough to say that. I take advantage of the senior center, the pool. I love the pool. I take advantage of all that I can take advantage of. I want to retire here. I can't because I have to be near my kids because they need a babysitter because they can't afford not to have free help to watch the babies, which I have 3 kids. They all plan on having kids. I only have 2 babies right now. But they can't afford to buy a house here. I don't know. I'm going to end up getting pulled out of here. One more last, and I don't want to be, just for the record.
Yeah.
One more last comment. That tax freeze for senior citizens, I missed it. The one that you can, they freeze you at like 10,000 or something like that. I missed that. And then I see my taxes go up. I missed it by I don't even know. You have to be a certain age by whatever it was. I missed it by a year and a half.
Council President,
Yeah.
do you want me to respond, or I can?
If we could, your time is up.
Okay.
Okay, which doesn't mean that the conversation, won't continue, just not right now. Let me just ask if there's anybody else who would like to speak, then we can close the public portion, and anyone that wants to respond further can do that. But is there, yeah.
Good evening. My name is JPR, 234 2nd Avenue. I just want to comment real quick on what the mayor said regarding just the new developments. I understand numerically you're saying that it might be a small, part of the bigger Long Branch aspect of it. However, I don't want to erase the voices of many individuals like myself, my mother, and everyone who's here today who really feel that individuals in Long Branch, it's where we might not be able to live here anymore. And I think that's such a reality we just can't erase as much as we kind of see it. I think that was the big arguments we kind of were talking about when we really were talking about keeping the hospital in the hometown of Long Branch, was that the population here is dramatically increasing with all the new developments. And we can't just say that that reality doesn't really exist, especially when you walk across Broadway, when you walk across the 2nd Avenue. So I think we have to really figure out a way that a lot of people are here talking about is how can we make people Long Branch feel safe? safe. Not in the aspect of criminality, not in that aspect, but more in just feeling safe that they can still live here. Because I think that's a fear I always have of like Long Branch, is that we have a history of pushing people out, eminent domain abuses. That's something that I'm always even scared about to this day. And I'm not saying there's any potential aspect of it happening now or like thinkings of it, but like there's a lot of pressure coming into Long Branch with new developments and more money coming into the community. Because although money might seem as like a good aspect always, because it's increasing the profit or the GDP of the community, where's that money actually going to? A lot of the money doesn't actually go to a lot of low-income communities. A lot of them, they get pushed out. They get pushed out to Edentown, but now Edentown is changing. Now they're getting pushed out somewhere else. So I think we really need to actually address, like when we talk about these benefits, like we have to think about the individual's actual livelihoods here. And I think that's something maybe the community can do more here, is actually like create a community survey. Maybe you have done that before, but a more fuller outreach where people's voices can actually really be heard and talk about their lived experiences. So I think that can also happen with the tax bills as well. I know we have a flat rate, if that's what y'all said, or that's what I heard. I'm not an expert in taxes. But one thing we can do is maybe do more specialized, tax understandings of individual situations for individuals who've gotten widowed, for individuals who might lost like their job, individuals who are retired. Property taxes are going to increase dramatically, and that's going to happen in conjunction with the increase of new development, because that's going to raise the property value of the town in general. So like as much as new developments, it is going to increase, like maybe not this year, but in the aggregate of 5 to 10 years, it's going to automatically increase like people's like ability to pay. So I think there has to be like we can't not like take into account people's lived realities. So I just think we need to have more specialization when it comes to tax situations. We need to really talk to people, ask them why do they feel like, not safe with like their living situations in Long Branch, of the stability. People don't feel stable here, especially with the hospital leaving, y'all. Like, come on, I think like that's something that's out of your hands, of course, but like not necessarily out of your hands, because you all can have power to do it, to like push as well. But that's like an example of like our community actively changing, and with individuals who feel that they're not even welcomed here anymore. This is like, these are people's lives, these are people's voices, and they need to really, really take in consideration, because this is not just this room. I've heard this from like hundreds of other people. Haven't talked to thousands yet. Yeah, thank you all for your time.
So let me, if I may, comment a little. First off, I want to thank you because.
Let me close, let me see if anybody
Oh,
else
okay,
wants
I'm
to
sorry.
speak, and then just so I can close the public portion, then we can
Sure,
open it up for comment. Anyone else want to make a comment? Okay, hold on 1 second, don't go anywhere. Anyone from the public who wants to further discuss any other comments or concerns, please call the city clerk's office at 732-571-5686 to schedule a time at the public council hours that are held the first Wednesday of every month. I need a motion to close the public participation portion of the meeting.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now that the public comment portion is closed, we can have any comments from the dais, anyone to respond to questions and some of your concerns. So let's open it up for
Sure, well, I just
anyone.
want to respond. First off, I wanted to thank you because many of us had commented on your comments that you made at the, on behalf of keeping the hospital here in Long Branch. So thank you for that. I don't know that we have actually met before that day, but again, I do want to thank you.
Continue working on it too. I think that's something that we need to keep fighting for, 100%.
Yeah, so I want to thank you for that. But, I mean, let's talk about the development a little bit. And look, I don't have all the answers for you. All I can say is you went like this, you said a balance. That's what we try to do. I like to use a term called managed development. But let me just give you an example of some of the things that we have done. And I'm not trying to do this in any like back and forth sort of way. But I do think it's important that, you hear both sides of it. So let me just start with Lower Broadway, for example. And another thing I don't like to do, and I'm never going to do, and so please don't take it the wrong way, but a lot of the projects that were, believe it, that you see right now, were actually had their approval prior to this administration coming in. But there has been some new development as well, so I want you to understand that. But what I will tell you is some of the things that we have done. So if you look at Lower Broadway, That's a good example. That was approved for 600 units. It's in half, it's 299, and we took away the 30-year abatement that had attached to it. So that's one thing. We introduced an ordinance in the beginning of our administration here, whereby any large developer, and I don't remember the figures, maybe you do, any large developer has to provide a certain number, or 10% I think of it, as of affordable units of a large project, or pay a significant fee for that as well. A good example was, again, Lower Broadway, which was approved for 600 units in 4 phases, and of course the affordable units would come in phase 4, which was scheduled for 2028. So this is going to come online in the spring or summer, half of it, and the 30 or 10% units will be right up front when they open the door. That's one example. Another example is we talk about development. Look at almost, if you remember, all the abandoned and vacant buildings in the city of Long Branch. Let's start with the Seaview Towers, right? That had been that way for 20 years, okay? Let's look at Westwood and Bath, where you have that development there. Let's look in West End, the Mobil station, and across the street. Look at almost every abandoned and vacant building that you can think of, with the exception primarily of the one as you enter Monmouth Beach, which is a whole story that I won't get into. We've eliminated that. Now, if you look at Westwood and Bath, where you have, Charlie, I don't know, what is it, 30 or whatever, the condos that are there, people are not going to build a single-family home or 2 or 3 single-family homes there. They're just not. That's just not the way it is. So we try to balance that. And how are we doing that as well? So Transit Village, we were designated in 2015 as a Transit Village designation. But one of the things we changed when we came into office, instead of what's allowed in the Transit Village designation is 40 units per acre, we made it 30 units per acre. Another example in that area is the hospital. So the hospital, we worked, and thank you to them, right? Thank you to them. The hospital, we worked so hard to get them to donate that land. They could have, on that 4-acre spot, built 300 units there. So, I mean, you know, we're actively doing that. If you look at the 3rd Avenue corridor there between Bath Avenue and Chelsea Avenue, you have, you have a couple of buildings there that are, I guess they're about 30 units apiece. But again, that entire stretch of land was vacant, abandoned buildings where you had you had people living in the basements there. So, I mean, let me stop with that. I agree with you, you know, it's a balance. And we try, you know, we're trying our best to do that. And, you know, a lot of people talk about the beachfront and, you know, this administration or all administrations are just worried about the ocean front. I mean, we have all worked so hard to put so many things off the ocean front. And again, I don't want to be repetitious, but whether it's the Senior Center, the Arts and Cultural Center, the Fire Museum in North Long Branch, parks, how we've increased the number of parks in the city. It's a balance, as you say. I'm going to stop there, but I just always, you know, want to give you the other side, or our side, which isn't perfect. I mean, we can always do better, but that's my response. And again, I want to thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for what you did a few weeks ago.
Did you want to mention stay in jail? Stay in jail.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Patty, to your question, yes, I don't know, it's over. The deadline was October 31st for its PAS 1, I think was the title of the program, which included Stay New Jersey, where you could get up to $6,500, the Senior Freeze, and the Anchor program. We had, actually, it was Senator Gopal had brought something to the Senior Center. Were you there on that?
I didn't. I filled the forms out. So I put all my paperwork in and I qualified for only one of those.
So, you know, Patty, I'm sorry, I'm hard of hearing, but can I just say, for any seniors that is a great program because it's a combination of, if you don't qualify for one and you qualify for the other, or if you qualify for all three, there's a maximum, I believe, of $6,500. And then one is not seniors, right? One of the programs is senior free, stay in New Jersey. And then Anchor program is not
a senior.
seniors.
Right.
So, that's out there. I just wanted to throw that out.
It was only the one, the freeze, where I missed it by like a year and a half.
Okay.
And isn't it gonna renew?
I can't,
You don't
I'm sorry.
have to know.
You-
Yeah, it's every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's every
Every
year.
year.
And the thing is, I just got 2 calls last week from people who wonder, sometimes the state extends these programs and things like that. So far, they have not.
I'm not as of yet.
I don't know if they will. Lou probably knows better than I do.
Yeah, and if we could move on, because Nick, I want to address your question, and let me start off by saying I wish I had all the answers for you. And what?
I'm not requesting the answers, but just some initiative.
Uh,
It seems that
right.
for the past year and a half, and despite what you wound up saying, the taxes did not only go up 1 year, this is my 3rd year, and perhaps maybe my 3rd year,
Yeah.
my last year in the city.
Mhm.
But I wanted to just know why, what kind of measures are being, with all
Yeah.
due respect to John Palazzo,
Mhm.
those issues, those are separate. We know
Mhm.
those things.
I agree.
What can we do now?
I
And I volunteered, to
Mhm.
even voice,
Mhm.
even that impenetrable Board of Education.
Mhm.
And I know I had asked you, John, how can I reach them? But they have no emails, they're quashed.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be honest with all of you, they are candidates to be reported to the Board of Ethics.
Mhm.
That's the kind of thing that we're dealing with. But
Mhm.
please help me out how we can have some dialogue so that way they don't continue to get away with murder. It's like giving your kid an American Express card and say, do
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want, because we'll just tax,
Yeah.
we'll just tax the taxpayers to death.
And-
this poor woman can't even send her kids there.
Yeah, and I have to tell you personally, I am always an advocate of let's get the conversation started and have a meaningful dialogue. And I wish, wait, I wish I could tell you more of the conversations that I know the mayor has, as a council member. Wait. I know we're not involved, so I can't tell you them, but I know that conversations are happening. But I think one thing that would change the framework, we can say, what do we control? We control the municipal part of the budget.
That's a given.
Right, but that's not the whole life for our citizens. Our citizens have to live with the whole budget. And so how do we have that conversation across those lines of what are we responsible for, and how do we work with the school board to look at what our citizens as a whole are experiencing? And, get out of our silos and start that working together. I don't know how else it starts other than very honest and straightforward conversations, working within the authority that we have. You know what I'm saying?
No, and that's why you have legal counsel to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But you can have some kind of committees, and I have even volunteered
Mhm.
to give my time.
Mhm.
I'm 71 years old, I've
Mhm.
had tons of experience. I used to run a multi-million-dollar 6-office practice. I know how to do that. And I have people that I can wind up speaking to wind up helping me out.
Mhm.
Mr. Raimond knows, he checked me out on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
He knows I'm legit.
Mhm.
I'm legit. I want to volunteer my time. But I'm asking, next year, there's going to be, healthcare is going to be higher,
Mhm.
this is going to be higher, and then all of a sudden that 38% is going to tweak up. But then in the meantime, the Board of Education is just going to do a lateral and put in a $7 million.
Mhm.
As I repeat, how in God's name can they get away with that? That's all I'm asking, and you, as our elected representatives, have the responsibility of saying, hey, Nick, you want to continue to stay in Long Branch? Well, guess what? We have a committee, and I don't give a damn if it's covert, if John Pallone's meeting with anybody else, I don't care. But tell me that there's something that's implemented, as opposed to just crickets. You guys just come there and say, have a safe trip, drive home safely. You know, that's great. Give me something concrete. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. What I would like to do with the permission and support of the rest of the council and the mayor is to have it on our workshop agenda for our next meeting. Obviously, there's a consistent message being brought forward. And if it's for more information for all of us and for whatever action can be taken, and to talk about what the outcome of that conversation is.
That's appreciated. Over a year ago, I had asked about some transparency, and this August, and I gave you all credit that we did get a letter that showed us some of these details. And contrary to popular belief, the vast majority of people want to know that, and just in nice little bullet things. You know, I'm not a finance person, but I know for a fact, if I've got to pay an extra $2,000 a year, that's going to hurt me like no avail.
Council President, if I can, the public portion is closed, so I just thought that because this is not a time where we go back and forth here, though, feel free to stay after and catch up with everybody. Yeah, that's why we're kind of trying to put it into it. Can I just say a couple of things?
Sure.
There's a couple of parts to this, and I appreciate, because I hear the comments all the time, and I say this in response all the time. The first is that part of that discussion should be the annual assessment program, because that exacerbates some of these things. As the mayor says, the municipal budget is flat, but the people see a tax increase. Even if the Board of Education budget was flat, some people would see a tax increase because their assessments would change in a different percentage than other people. That should be part of your discussion too. The other part of it, which is sometimes I like to state kind of what is the obvious, is the Board of Education is a separately elected body.
Right. Yeah.
And they hold public meetings.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that everybody should come here and spread their voice, but coming here and asking us to go to the Board of Education to tell them these things, I wonder, I've never been to a Board of Education meeting. I wonder, you can go to those meetings too, and that's where you get the information as to what their budgets are like. So, and I don't, I have a pretty good idea as to the dynamic as to what's facing Board of Educations and the education formula and all of those things that are going on in New Jersey. I have a pretty good bird's eye view of it. But the obvious point is this, is that while your questions here are good, and it's going to be on our workshop agenda, and we'll kind of workshop some of it, but all of our workshop is about how we can go talk to the people who will actually make those decisions. Everybody here is, of course, free to go to those Board of Education meetings and express that information to them. And perhaps, as we saw with the Monmouth Medical, the voice of the people sometimes, carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So I just say that ma'am, I'll speak to you afterwards, ma'am. But this is not this is not the public portion of it, and you're free to speak. It's not, the public portion is closed. I'm sorry, I apologize. Yes.
After, can we have the discussion afterwards? Okay, so we are going to move on, but how, the conversation will be continued in the workshop and will be continued, shared here as it moves forward. With that, I will now ask Madam Clerk if there are any changes to the list of resolutions.
No changes have been made.
So we can take the listed resolutions as a consent agenda.
So
I need a
moved.
motion.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rassus?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Mr. Dangler is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. And now in terms of applications, I need a motion to approve the listed application. It is for the renewal of various taxi cab owner license for the year 2026.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rassus?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Mr. Dangler is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. Miscellaneous business for the good of the order, and we're going to start off with Councilman Rassus.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to congratulate Amanda, our new clerk, Amanda Colwell. Also extend congratulations to your family. I'm proud of you and very happy, so happy for you. You are a tremendous asset to the city of Long Branch. Also like to thank everyone for coming out this evening. It's always nice to hear your concerns. These are things that we do take to heart, and we want to find a way to resolve these issues. Also, I want to extend a happy holiday season to everyone. Wish everyone a happy and healthy new year, and please stay safe, and look forward to seeing everyone next year.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Councilman Rassus. And now Councilman Viera.
Thank you, Council President. I also want to, Amanda, would echo what Councilman Rassus says. You are totally asset for this. I know you for a while. You're going to make us proud. I'm proud of that.
Thank you.
Thank you to the family, same thing. And to the concerned citizens about our taxes and our school board, Nick, I know you say, I know our lawyer touched up a little bit that we can't give the school a green light. They are elected officials just like we are. They make the decisions over there, you know what I mean? So I know our Attorney Raynon, I know, but we just can't go over there and tell them what to do. They're elected officials just like we are. You know, we control our portion, they control their portion. You know what I mean?
You're misunderstanding.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, so to touch up on that a little bit. And another thing is to come in here and say that you can't afford to live in the city of Long Branch anymore. I'm with you 100% on that one. But you got to take it as a whole pie. It's not just the city of Long Branch. I have relatives that lived around the surrounding towns, and our taxes are still the most affordable compared to the surrounding towns by us. That I can tell you almost. I can't prove it, but I can tell you as for what I hear. So this is like a Monmouth County thing. It's not just the city of Long Branch. You know, it's fair to come in, I can't afford to live in the city of Long Branch. So well said, well understood. But it's not just the city of Long Branch. You know what I mean? You go to the surrounding towns by us, it's all the same exact thing. I think it's more to Monmouth County. Now it's changing to Ocean County. It's everything up north. The taxes, I know you're shaking your head no or yes, you know what I mean? But it's true. It's not a Long Branch thing. You know what I mean? And Nick, you know that. You know that's not just a Long Branch thing. Your experience, you know what's going on. It's the taxes. We have to, you know, we make our budget, and I know it's going on, but it's a little not fair just to say I can't afford to live in Long Branch. You know what I mean? It's a little out. I know you live in Long Branch. Listen, your taxes go up, my taxes go up too. And you don't think that us sitting up here, the administration, and the mayor and the council here, we don't do anything in our power to keep these taxes down? We do. So it's nice and easy to say that we sound like crickets or whatever it is, but it's not the way it is. That's not the way we operate. You know what I mean? For what the city of Long Branch offers, as the mayor mentioned, all those things, the fun days, the pool, everything that we offer to the kids, the art center, your garbage picked up 3 days a week, all the city, all the police officers that we have, all the fire department that we have, it's not fair to say we can't live in the city of Long Branch. We offer a lot for what you get. A lot more than a lot of cities offer you. A lot more. And your taxes, I think, are high, so are mine, believe me. I live here, and I'm proud to live here. And you're right at point. We went on to a point that we can't live here anymore. But it's just not a Long Branch problem. It's a Monmouth County problem. Okay, with that, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays. Thanks for coming. and stay safe, like you said. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Councilman Vieira. And Councilwoman Wittes.
I too would like to thank you all for coming out this evening. And Amanda, congratulations, and
Thank you.
we're excited to work with you and continue to work with you. And I look forward to, I think, Nick, your goal is to have a committee to talk with Board of Education, and, I know most of the members, and I hopefully they would be receptive to that. So, and I think that's something we can discuss in workshop. So, see what happens. But yeah. So, anyway, with that, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Wittes and Mayor Pallone.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday season, and all the best to you and your families for a healthy and happy 2026. I just have two events here. The holiday decorating contest is still going on. Winners can win a $150 gift card at Ace Hardware. To apply, please go to our website, www.longbranch.org. And finally, we have many fun events. I didn't write this. We have many fun events planned for 2026. Please visit our website for a sneak peek at our summer concert list dates and bands that we already have booked. So again, thank you all for being here this evening.
Thank you, Mayor Pallone. And as some final comments for 2025 that I would like to make. These conversations, these discussions are so important. Nick, the dialogue, that's it. From, I think we all are on the same page with that. And so a commitment for us, in terms of continuing that conversation in our workshop, and dialogue is wonderful, action is even better. So maybe that should be our motto for 2026. Thank you, everyone. Marcia, thank you for your comments. I don't know your name. Oh, and Patty. Thank you for all of your very thoughtful and heartfelt comments. Amanda, I'm certainly not going to miss congratulating you one more time and your lovely family. Thank you for coming out, and I hope all of you and all of our residents have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. So enjoy. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.